That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the greatest Bitcoin cryptocurrency trading stream in the world. Bringing you nothing but the finest and those that despise us. When it comes to technical analysis. There's only one place that you can trust, and the name is Cryptopocalypse Now. You know it, I know it. It is good to see you, and welcome to the live stream. This is part 3 of the daily Bitcoin update, but we're doing it live on YouTube this time. Why? Felt like it. Besides, been kind of wanting to do this for a little while now. You know, when you stay away from YouTube for a few days, you know, you kind of, if you rest, you rust, right? And that's not my intention. My intention here is to stay fit in technical analysis and bring you nothing but the best. So, in today's stream, you have a trade, you have analysis, and there's something else. And that something else is, how do I put it? 30 years of experience in the industry trading stocks, options, futures, currencies. Having begun his career at the American Stock Exchange. This guy, Steven, has worked on 4 different exchanges and was a member of the New York Stock Exchange at the time of his starting Yellow Brick Road. He has traded nearly 2 billion shares of US stocks in his career with an impeccable track record. Advised some of the largest hedge funds in the US. And today he's highly respected as one of the leading day traders in the world. The man is dedicated to teaching and educating traders of all skills and levels how to be consistently profitable traders. Man is in his 60s, did his time, made a living, 2 billion shares, family assets, company assets, personal account. And you're like, what are you on about? Hang on. From 1992 until 2004, Steve traded his own capital, as well as that of different family offices, and became a successful day trader over a period of time. Having traded 2 billion shares of US stocks, I already said that. But in 2005, Steve founded his own firm to research and develop software to help identify trends, reversals, patterns, divergences in the marketplace for all asset classes and all time frames. And during that time, Steve also wrote daily and monthly newsletters and hosted daily market recap covering the US equity, gold, and crude oil markets. And so the man is seeking to generate high alpha trading ideas throughout the day. He and his team employ technical analysis through utilizing the proprietary charting software he developed with his company in order to forecast the market. Oh, what does that have to do with UCR? What does that have to do with MarketSpy?
What does it have to do with anything? Give me the next trade.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to now transition over to a quiet period so we can focus on this one little thing that I wanted to show you. And what I wanted to show you is bring her back. It's this man right here. This is Steven. That is his setup. Charts loaded with proprietary technical indicators that he trades, makes money off of, and teaches other people how to be profitable. And so I wanted to play a little segment here brought by this gentleman here. I don't know him. I know this guy. I don't know him. And I wanted to draw, and don't worry, Bitcoin, there's something in the charts. We're going to miss the move. Don't worry about that. I'm going to get to the point in a little bit. But allow me to present this guy here. And let's listen to what he has to say regarding trading. Today, for the first time in my life, I felt like I was not alone out there. I thought I was crazy for a little while, standing next to moons, faces, and the pivot champions, and everybody in between. And I was like, is there anybody out there who's not in it to just scam his way up to the top, but who's actually, can I relate to anybody? And I found this guy today randomly because I'm researching how to make better thumbnails. And I wanted to bring him to you. And it's a little terrifying because what he talks about here, I want to do a little review, is almost word for word what we have been preaching on this channel. And at the end, I'll tell you why I am promoting this.
Steve, here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. All right, break down what you're doing right now. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. What are you looking for? What are you kind of focused on?
So I'm just getting my eyes, zeroed in on what's going on. I just walked in about 10 minutes ago to start getting my desk organized, and then I'm just starting my live room at 8, checking my economic calendar because I don't like to trade into any economic news.
So we're going to tie this in with a trading plan, obviously, that has been the focus of our attention and our streams in Discord and here on YouTube for the last little while, few weeks in a row now. So
if there's any 8:30 numbers coming out or at 10 o'clock, I want to get ready and prepared for it. But just right now, I'm just going left to right, just checking out the futures contracts, where the overall markets are, looking at some of the forexes, the pound, the euro, the dollar, yen, and looking at the index futures. I'm trying to buy the S&P futures because the futures 8 o'clock in the morning. Equity markets start at 9:30, but I got a lot of guys who trade futures when I come in at 8 o'clock in the morning. So whether it's the index futures, the crude oil, currency markets. I have a GDP number coming in at 8:30. So the economy looks like it's strong. It could be a sign that the Federal Reserve is going to start raising interest rates again. And if it's a weak GDP, well, it could be taken two ways. If the economy is starting to falter, and that maybe that it would be offset by the Federal Reserve not looking to raise interest rates again. So there's a combination. It's a whole way of, you have to interpret it, but hey, S&P sell 90 or better here. And then
first of all, there's so many screens here. Hopefully this will not depress you. I'll tell you why this is unnecessary, but for him it is. For us it's not. Remember, there's a team. His is the hawk. He's the eagle. He's flying around, targeting things, right? Looking for opportunities. And he says, there it is. They execute. Traders in the background. The ones that actually put in the work and sweat it out all day long. Their job is to not lose any of his capital. Let's continue.
Cancel the balance. So, all day long we're in here, but right now after this trade, I probably won't do much, because of the fact that, you don't want to have a position going into a big number like GDP at 8:30. All my life.
So part of his trading plan, already I can hear that the man has a trading plan and he's got a criteria to satisfy. He's saying that, at the open, data, GDP, I don't do any trades. I don't have any position. So he's well aware of what the calendar is looking like. And he's positioning himself accordingly, which is his position is no position as of now.
I've never traded into an economic news. I mean, I have, 30 minutes, 25 minutes before, okay, S&P's 9.25. So I probably, I wouldn't be doing much here, so I'm going to get on in 10 seconds, but people who are normally on a little bit before would have probably caught that, one little trade, scalp trade on the S&Ps.
All right, so there are a couple of scalp trades, and there's always an opportunity, he's saying. And if you're watching the charts, you're trading it. If not, you're not chasing anything. You're waiting for the next opportunity, which is what he's doing right now.
If you look at all the 4 ETFs, reversed yesterday and continue.
God damn it! Hey, look, this looks fun.
You to be in a
YouTube gurus need to get monetized, otherwise survival is not guaranteed.
solid uptrend.
What are we looking at? You got a lot of screens. A lot of people are like, oh, what do you need all those screens for? Tell us kind of what we're looking at on the screens and kind of break it down. I think I was trying to explain to people how, every screen is either a different instrument.
He's got 4 oscillators, 2 of which are proprietary. And there's a strategy that goes with it. Listen closely.
Or different equity.
Correct.
Or future.
Remember, this is not CryptoFace. This is a guy who has been trading for 36 years using proprietary indicators. And how?
So
Because I have so many screens up is not because of any ego or anything like that. It's because of the way I've been doing this for a while.
Oh, the ego. The ego. He's well aware that a lot of traders out there put on a show. And if they're showing you their setup, especially the Forex gurus on YouTube, they will show you 1,000 different screens and say, here's my humble setup. Triggering you, thinking that you're inadequate. You're not enough. You need to get on their level to get to that hit rate that they're photoshopping for you every day. All right. So he knows he's got, screens for effect, not for appearance. Moving on.
Over 25, 30 years. And that's because of the fact that I want to be able, even though technology, which I have behind me, with my 3 assistants, I have my algos running behind me and they're blurting out stuff for me.
Yeah.
Right? But it's important that, when I'm more of a visual guy too, right?
Okay, visual guy. And he says that I am visual guy. Some people are not visual. Some people are like all math and numbers, and maybe they're just like imagining things, feelings. He's saying I'm a visual guy. I have an algorithm running in the background that spits out signals, buy and sell signals, that I decide whether I want to act on it or not. In MarketSpy, we already talked about how you have a one-to-one approach. This man is talking about MarketSpy and approach, but the only difference between him and me is that he's got 36 years and me totaling out at around 8. So there's a big difference. Listen to the man. He's got signals. He's got the algo. It's proprietary. He spent 5 years working on it. It's deployed. It's telling him when to trade, but he makes the final call. He leaves a little bit of that discretion available.
So when I'm able to have all my different instruments that I look at, that I trade, that my customers and my traders look at, right?
The reason he's got so many screens and different instruments, and it's because he's got many traders under him, and he's got many customers who are interested in a variety of portfolio setups. And he needs to satisfy a lot of them, and sometimes trading one instrument is not satisfactory for a band of traders like what he's got going on over there in this boiler room. What I'm saying is a little insertion here, a little comment. Bitcoin represents 5 to 10 different instruments because of its volatility, because it's always on the move and it always presents you with a buying or selling opportunity, even when it's flat. So Bitcoin traders don't need that. It helps if your size is this guy's size. I'm not talking about physical size, but his actual physical office size, where he's got 5 traders sitting in there executing and a hell of a lot more clients than any of us under him who are looking for trades. So they're looking at a variety of markets. There's like 20 of them. at a time.
It's good that, I'm in a rhythm with it. So instead of just having the algo just say, okay, buy S&Ps, then I want to watch the pattern, and then I can trade in that pattern.
Okay, so what if the algo says buy or sell, a bearish or a bullish setup on MS? For you MS traders, this is very important. This will get your head clear. There's a reason why we trade the way we trade, is because you don't just do it because the algo says. You look and you confirm if there's a pattern or some sort of evidence that this is indeed the case. You need a little bit of humanity, human presence in there to confirm that. So once confirmed, it's a clear go signal, buy or sell. So we'll talk about what he's using as the algorithm.
All day long. Number one thing is you want to be on the right side of the market, right?
Yeah.
So I'm able to identify the trend, whether it's a negative or a positive trend, and then like yesterday we caught the whole reversal up.
You're also looking for kind of like correlations too.
Yeah. So
like with the SPY, how does that work? Like, let's say I'm trading the E-minis.
Right.
What am I looking for in the SPY?
So when I trade, you could trade the futures contracts before. My research has shown me you can trade during the Tokyo and the European session outright using my technology, and then you can trade up until 9:30. So what happens is that once the bell rings at 9:30 and all the markets open, equities, ETFs. So yesterday, for example, if you look here, I caught the buy reversal using my proprietary algorithm on the 15-minute time frame. I caught the buy reversal.
Rings a bell? It should.
Here at 12:45 on the spiders, right? But if you look back, and I have to scroll back here, you can see that when I got the buy signal on the S&P futures right here at, I think it was about 15 minutes before, 11:45, like an hour earlier. So at 11:45 I caught the buy signal, and I said to everybody that I thought the lows were in for the day. And then at 12:45, when the spiders, which trade like a stock, correlated with the continuous contract, now they both lined. So now I knew the lows were definitely in, and I was trading from the long side on the S&Ps or the equity markets as a whole. Done so much research on this that I wrote this, and the way they line up, very powerful, and you should be going in that direction. So that's why I'm able to see, and I teach this.
The way they line up is very powerful, and you should be going in that direction. Talking about equities, we're talking about Mag 7. Make the connection, because this is super relatable, and I was very happy that I could find somebody who understood and whom I understood, because it was kind of for a little while there I thought there's gotta be public individuals out there who can come forward and say, yeah, we get it, we understand, algorithm can be taught, can be traded, profitable.
To people who are in my live room who use my software as well. High alpha generated trading ideas, in and out, market direction, seeing things that a lot of people, I feel can't see, and this is what I do to try to help them.
How long are you typically in a trade?
So much like us with MarketSpy, these people can, those who use his proprietary soft can see things that most other traders cannot. Patterns and signals that are not generic but very proprietary, very fitted, and are high probability setups. And it's a universal thing. Like, you can pick it up and just learn it, right? That's what he's saying.
Anywhere from 1 to 6 bars, which means anywhere from 1 minute to 30 minutes.
Okay. Let's go back. The most important thing, and then we can probably end this right here. Listen to this.
A trade.
Come on.
How long are you typically in a trade?
How long are you typically in a trade? Remember, this guy moving millions out there, right? Daily. Billions of shares. How long is he in a trade? Now, I want you to think about all the things that we have talked about so far in every stream, every tutorial, every mentor video that we had inside of our Discord. And I want you to put one on one together and see what you come up with when you bring up your memories of ATR my exit strategy, 90-10, why, and what he's saying here now. Some guy from another planet, similar but deeper, more expansive experience covering a variety of markets that I've never touched in my life. He's talking about something that is real here. How long are you in a trade? Typically, every day. You're a day trader. Remember how I said people cover behind swing trading and micro patterns? This is trading every day for a living. Watch.
Anywhere from 1 to 6 bars, which means anywhere from 1.
From 1 to 6 candles. Does that somehow associate with the strategies that we have? For those of you guys who have studied the boot camps, you should make a connection already. Because I was very satisfied when I heard this.
1 minute to 30 minutes on a trade. I watch.
Between 1 minute to 30 minutes on a trade. That could be one trade per day. And you're watching for it, the title of this video, all day. You're waiting for that 30-minute trade window to capture that one little trade setup. And he doesn't care if there's a trend. He'll talk about support and resistance in a bit and trends. There's no such thing as identifiable trend continuation or any nonsense as such. There's no identifiable support that you can rely on and say it's 100% calculated and works every time. That one time when it fails, you pay a huge price. And the only way to avoid that and get to the status of someone who's really consistent and profitable all the time is to trade consistently, small, with regular sizes, and not ever rely on traditional methods where price can fall through, break through, and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But you're trading guaranteed exits as per our strategy, and he's confirming that, and I respect it very much.
I just absorb, and then I'll wait. Sometimes I've seen, big drops and then huge reversals up, and so you just want to be able to let the dust settle a little bit. Usually the second move is the right direction from my years of experience. 10-year bond still bullish here on the...
So after 36 years, he's talking about how the second move is the right direction, not the original initial impulse. Think about the Blue Dot Mag 7 setup. Think about how you have a diamond price goes down, then immediately goes up, and then on the second try really continues to go down, and the actual move is now, the signal is now at play, and it's profitable. Think about those things.
The 15 and 30-minute time frames.
All right, market's about to open. What are you looking at right now? What's kind of the game plan?
The indexes are down. S&P futures are down 6. The NASDAQ futures are down 23. That's the gauge of the market right there. Overall, I have buys of all my ETFs, the spiders, the Russell, the Qs, and the diamonds. So right now we're still in buy mode, even though the market's going to open up a little weaker. So right now I'm just going to be patiently waiting here and see which way the market's going to dictate eventually.
How quick do you normally try to get in once the market opens?
Today there's not no umph to it, but normally sometimes, like if you see like an 18-20 handle move up, I try to fade it and short it right on the opening, and then try to look for a quick scalp.
How does the market open affect the futures? So obviously the futures are already trading, but they're kind of trading on the idea that the future price.
Right. So right now you're just gonna wait to see where.
This is the guy who fades your breakouts. When you have a daily open and there's a huge spike and everyone gets excited, it's like, yeah, direction has been established. These are the people that jump on it and fade it and crash it. And then you're like, but it looks so convincing.
A lot of the underlying stocks are going to open, like the Amazons, the names that are the Apples that are going to, like right now, Apple, I'm in buy mode, right? The NASDAQ futures is down 22. Okay, here we go. All right. So, all right, Apple's still in buy mode here. Tesla, wow, new highs here in Tesla. All right, we have sells in...
Good grammar and spelling are important.
Jesus.
But if you want to write essays that inspire...
All right, Intel takes out the 5296 level. Intel, you take out the 5296, and Intel, you're going to get a sell signal here. All right, 10-year bond, look to cover here, 4.5. Shouldn't have been able to sell 05s. No way you were selling 05.5s. Use a 5 stop if it starts going, but you should be complete here. Half bid's going to get hit out here at a half, so you should be filled. Let me give you some key numbers to watch here. Spiders need to hold above the 278.43. Russell, 156.73. Q's, 172.86. And the diamonds, 259.27. These are all really big numbers here. If any of them start taking out, we're going to see a reversal to the downside. Right now, the Dow's right up $1 here. It's 10:03 now. We probably, how many trades we did today? About 24? 20. Did about 20 trades. We probably going to be in the mid 60, 70 range.
So he just communicated his market outlook and called out some levels and prices. The traders that are well trained, that are behind him there, they're executing, and their job is to do what we basically learn here to do. And those guys is the bread and butter of the firm, right? He gave you a trade signal, and they're all trained professionals, and they know how to handle risk and sizing according to the instrument that they're trading. Each and every one of them there is assigned to one instrument, and they're paying attention to that and managing those active positions anywhere between a minute to 30 minutes. A great signal gives you a profitable trade set up almost immediately. You should be in profit. Otherwise, they close the position. It's not moving in their direction. Very simple stuff, right? But man, just
right now we
brings
have
back
buys
memories.
on the S&Ps, the spiders. The Russell just reversed negative, so one of the 4 ETFs are now in sell mode here. So I just feel like the market's really heavy, and this pattern on the bigger time frames got to be complete. So I'm still looking for another 20 to 30 handle push down the next couple of days to complete that before we get another push back up on the bigger time frame.
So normally when I'm trading, I'm looking for opportunities in terms of a stock being overextended to the upside to go short, or oversold to the downside to get down to support area to get long. Kind of what are you kind of looking? I mean, other than looking just at the.
Well, I use my own proprietary algorithms. So I really never look at anything. I could show you examples in my 36 years of an overbought condition, and the market still rallied 2,000 points. So the way I designed everything that took me 8 years of my life, I'm able to identify the trends and reversals and the patterns I set up. And I have, using my overbought, oversold oscillators. So
I'm going to say this right now. For a lot of the market spies out there who are still sort of kind of getting into the groove but are not really sure, this is the point where he mentioned that it took him 8 years to create a system that an algorithm that spits out buy and sell signals, and he has a method to trade those. If you go and find his webpage, I strongly, I know, but if I'm wrong, here's my deal. He's got there's a whole thing dedicated to this, right? He's got a very cheaper than MarketSpy price of admission to try out his methods, his course, and his algorithm, which was 8 years in the making. Generated a lot of money for him and the team. I want you to go spend $25, try it out, and if it's better than MarketSpy, stay there. If it's worse, doesn't make sense, and you compare the two, come back here and let me know your thoughts, because I guarantee you will rediscover what a blessing it is to be part of this community. You will know that being part of the MarketSpy is an experience like no other. I guarantee you that, and we will soon talk about why that is. But go ahead, seek out this guy, top trader, 36 years, Wall Street, everything, right? Can't go wrong. See if anything clicks. See if anything is better out there. Better than MarketSpy. Guarantee you'll not find it. But give it a try. Don't skip on it. This guy's no
I'm
joke.
pretty
All right.
attuned to like
8 years. You sign up in one day. The majority you made that money back in like 3-5 trades tops. If not his system, not this system, not any other method out there will help you. There's something off fundamentally with the way you view the markets. And you need to figure out what that is. My advice here and now is to stop wasting your time and start making money sticking to something that works. And if it doesn't, I think it's the wrong thing to do. I think trading should not be pursued by people who are still hopeful after all this, because MarketSpy, this algo that he has and the proprietary system that he teaches and they have developed are no joke indicators. There are no BS indicators that are just kind of like, hey, I have one too. It's not. Trust me. Go out there and explore and draw your conclusions from this. Don't get stuck on this one thing. Doubt it, question it, explore, compare. Like I have did. I've Market Cipher. I got it. Did a comparison. Trash. 100%. Right. Just random. Backed by nothing.
how I use them.
Watch.
And use them with other indicators so I can pick up divergence patterns and oversold conditions that I know how to use. And
The guy is so calm. Any other YouTuber that you find these days, they just go on these random tangents about right? Making millions, buying Lamborghinis. Look at this guy. They're all children compared to where he is and where they are.
teach that all day long.
Is there a reason? Do you have a preference between the tick charts and bar charts and candle stuff? Like,
yeah, I'm just so used to the bar data like that I've been looking at, and to me, it's the only way to look at it. I get into a rhythm with it more, a flow.
Okay.
So it's what my eyes are pretty much trained on a daily basis.
Can you give us a quick little explanation of how a bar chart works?
Yeah, so basically looking at the exchange traded fund spiders, SPY, it's just data coming in and just the prices, within that. I'm looking at a 5-minute time frame, so the data is just coming in and out. And then basically the way I have my charting application set up.
One thing to note, no support resistance levels. He has them, probably mental support resistance levels. No order books. And I think he gives a very good explanation as to why. He only looks at the bars and he's got his algorithm running. And then he makes a decision based on that. That's it. By way of deduction. There's nothing except the core components that make him a consistent, profitable trader.
Up with using my own proprietary algorithms, I'm able to, identify the patterns and the price action.
So obviously on that bar, you have on the left side's the open.
Yes, the open of that bar. Now you can see the yellow digits right here to the right because my right eye is always currently on that bar. So when I trade, I'm always looking at the current bar, and all these numbers to the right has very meaningful data for me. So right now you can see it's just dropping here. You can see that the high on this bar, and I click on it and I can see the high is 278.97, and it just got down to the 86 level. So from high to low it just dropped 11 cents. So I'm able to identify much better visually what works for me. It may not work for someone else, but most of the people that I teach and who are trading are using at bar data.
Okay. Because I think, like for me, when I'm looking at candles, I see the red and the green on the candles.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, obviously if it's selling off, I'm seeing that and taking that into account.
Yeah,
but for you're not really.
Yeah, I'm using my own way of my methodologies and how I'm trading using my own proprietary algorithms, and so I never really used candles. I looked at them once, I don't know, maybe some 30 plus years ago, but I just not something that I look at.
Yeah, you're not.
Imagine this scenario. You buy a little-known cryptocurrency at $2.82 from a major exchange. The coin surges to $26.50 per coin, handing you a 9-fold gain. Sounds pretty good, right? But what if this happened instead? You buy the same cryptocurrency But this time, you buy it using a perfectly legitimate backdoor method for just 48 cents before the coin is listed on a
Backdoor
major exchange.
method.
Instead of making only 9 times your money, you make 55 times your money. Is this really possible, or is it just a pipe dream? Well, if you know where to look, and you have some money you can afford to risk, I assure you this is very possible, and I'll show you how it's done. My name is Martin Weiss, and I'm the founder of Weiss Ratings.
No.
No.
You didn't go
volume.
there.
Well, I mean, the only time I look at
You
volume
didn't go
is just
there,
like
Wise.
when it's super slow. I just wanted to see how many
This
contracts
guy made
are
a killing
trading
in
on the
2017.
S&Ps, and normally they'll do 20,000 contracts on a 5-minute bar, and you know, right now we're ahead of, you know, pretty much in tune for that number on this 5. I don't look at volume when I trade. Is that what you're asking? Like,
Yeah, because I mean,
no.
Do you look at volume when you trade? Because volume is so real. The guy says no.
some people are like, oh, if I see, you know,
I'm
big
not
spike
gonna-
in volume, it,
Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to trade a symbol that has no volume where it's like maybe it does 500 shares in an hour. I don't.
Yeah.
Illiquid. I don't go anywhere near illiquid.
It's the same reason we don't trade shit coins and only focus on Bitcoin and sometimes Ethereum.
Symbols.
So we're at 27 trades right now. It's almost lunchtime. Well, we'll say 11 o'clock. It's almost 11 o'clock. Obviously,
we're on pace to do 60 to 75 today.
on a really, just when the market's just rallying. Like, what do you think the most trades ever made, like, in one day in the, kind of like, in the ticker talker room and stuff?
Probably north of 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
And then obviously you see a slow day when the market's kind of just flat. It just,
Yeah, you know, anywhere between 40 and 70.
so obviously that comes in.
140 to 70 trades a day. Got about 5 to 10 traders there at a time. Each pushing for 10 trades. Now, what they're saying is these 30-minute trades, think Bybit Pro, in and out, that's considered a trade. We can identify a setup, get in on the setup, and trade it, and we can have 100 opens and closing sessions within that 30-minute candle. Does that make sense? Sometimes you face that, right? It's not every day, but it happens. So you average, you know, if you look at your P&L list of like the history, you'll see it spans like 50, 20 to 50 pages easy for a session with Bybit Pro, right? They're not talking about market in, market out, market in, market. That's not what we're talking about, right? Scaling, getting out little by little, incrementally, doing it again with the Momo, with the momentum. That's what he's talking about here.
Into play, like you said.
Okay,
waiting
so
for the setups, being patient.
You got to be patient.
If the market isn't showing you the entries, you're not buying.
No way.
The guy, I laugh because this guy here, he's absolutely like he's sick of it. He's sick of he's tired of repeating it. You don't modify what you know. Once you know something, it works. I totally understand this guy, and I can 100% relate. He's just saying, yeah, there's nothing, there's no, why are you even asking me these questions? Of course you got to be patient. Of course, if the market is dead, you wait. Of course you spend time monitoring most of it. And he's just like shaking his head. His answers are robotic. He is a machine, indeed.
I'm just not going to have people commit capital just for the sake of committing capital.
Well,
I'm not going to have people commit capital just for the sake of committing capital. Golden words, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this.
a lot of people sit there on the computer all day and they're like, they feel like if they're not in a trade, they're not, you know what I mean? Like they're not working.
Yeah, I get that all the time. That's
Yeah.
a great point. A lot of people say like, what do I do next? I'm like, dude, you got to chill out.
Yeah.
Let me rewind that.
No. No way. I'm not just. I'm just not gonna have people commit capital just for the sake of committing capital.
Well, I think a lot of people sit there on the computer all day and they're like, they feel like if they're not in a trade, they're not doing. They're not. You know what I mean? Like they're not working.
Yeah, I get that all the time. That's a great point. A lot of people say like, what do I do next? I'm like, dude, you gotta chill out.
Yeah.
You just gotta wait until the pattern's set up. Let the market. You want to be right or you want to just gamble? I'm not the gambling. I'm waiting. I want the odds on my side.
Do you ever notice,
MarketSpy.
obviously, like in the middle of the day, kind of just slows down? Because you get those, you get the bigger moves in the morning, kind of.
I mean,
let's rewind.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I want the odds on my side. Wait until the pattern's set up. Let the market. You want to be right or you want to just gamble? I'm not the gambling. I'm waiting. I want the odds on my side.
Do you ever notice, obviously, like in the middle of the day, kind of just slows down? Because you get those, you get the bigger moves in the morning, kind of.
I mean,
trends kind of develop and start moving through the middle of the day. And then, like yesterday, the market right at the end of the day kind of rallied into close.
The market's, in my point of view, doesn't have a predictive pattern like that. I mean, there are days when it's like you look up, it's 3 o'clock, and you're nonstop.
Yeah.
The last week or two, I would say that it's been pretty much just quiet. I could never, there were periods of time when you couldn't even do this interview like this right now. Every day is a different day, so I don't come into the day knowing, okay, from 11 to 11:30, I'm just gonna, relax. It's not like
Take
that.
a nap.
Take a nap.
Go to lunch,
chill.
a couple hours.
Go to lunch. We eat at our desks. It's military here.
In terms of, as like somebody from the outside to see like, oh, the market crashed, how'd you make money today? But there's opportunities in a bear market, there's opportunities in a bull market. Mm-hmm. Do you have a preference really?
I think the markets, you make more money when the markets go down.
Well, I'm just saying, like in general, like would you if we go into a bear market for the next 2 years?
No, because
business as usual.
You could trade like instruments like the TZAs, which are the inverse.
By the way, to correlate this to our crypto experience, I think you can look into inverse tokens that are like the Ethereum bull token, the bear token, things like that. So what he's saying here is so important, because this guy asked him, when the markets are falling, what do you do? And obviously you don't want to be too aggressive buying stuff. This guy flips the conversation around and says, since you know how to buy and you're used to it, he's not saying just flip and start shorting. He's saying if you're into buying and that's what you're comfortable doing, if that's part of your plan, you go and buy those inverse tokens. Bitcoin bear, for example, is when you can hold that token with very little collateral against it. And if Bitcoin is falling, that token is going up. But psychologically, you're long on the bear token. Does that make sense? It's a completely different mindset altogether. It's not a matter of just shifting from one trade to the next, depending on what the signal is showing you. It's a matter of knowing yourself and saying, hey, I'm good at longing, so I can long an inverse token that goes up when the markets go down. Same thing what he's talking about here with the Q and others. Things go up, you're playing a long setup because the algorithm, MarketSpy, is going to print a long signal on those tokens and you'll execute it just as you would. This is why I flip the charts around sometimes, because you're so used to buying all the time, and markets are all about buying. So you're always looking at, even when it's time to go short, you're looking at it from the long trade perspective, as if it was a long. So when you flip the chart, suddenly it just makes sense, and you're like, oh, okay, I know exactly what to do here. How do I always play my longs? That's exactly how I'm going to play the short. Very important stuff here.
Business as usual.
You could trade like instruments like the TZAs, which are the inverse of betting the market going up, the SDAO, the QIDs. So there's other instruments to trade from the long side, to capture that. And you can always short. So if you don't feel comfortable shorting, but you want to buy instruments like the TZAs or the QIDs or the SDAOs, which are the inverse of the market going up. So there's always opportunities. So there's other vehicles to trade. Just got to expand your horizon.
Yeah. It's one thing I've learned is obviously
expand your horizon.
Volatility is pretty much what you need in terms of I'm not so much worried about if it's green or red. I'm more worried about if I'm getting action.
Well,
up or down.
Right, but even like today, for example, it's pretty slow at 10:46 in the morning. But there's been opportunities here across the board. I'm not going to deny that. Some good opportunities in the futures contracts. Gold dropped from the time we got the sell signal, I think almost $6-7. Crude oil's all over the place. So there's opportunities. It's just having the technology and the asset classes that you want to trade. And you know what? Guess what? If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Preservation of capital. You just want to wait. Because I've been around a long time. Things happen.
Yeah.
So,
Let me rewind that. God bless you, Stephen.
and the asset classes that you want to trade. And you know what? Guess what? If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Preservation of capital. You just want to wait. Because I've been around a long time. Things happen.
Yeah.
So
Let's say you get a day where it's just like the end of the world. We're down 700, 800 points. Are
I've
you
seen
just
it.
the whole
I want to rewind.
gold dropped from dollars, asset classes that you want to trade. And you know what? Guess what? If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Preservation of capital. You just want to wait.
Wow, right? This really lines up. I guess what I wanted to do with this here, we'll jump to trading and everything in a moment, but I wanted to point out that none of this stuff is made up backyard shit that you come across out there. Everything that we have covered here so far is as real as it gets. And I'm happy. This is honestly the first video ever on YouTube that doesn't have any bluff in it. Ever. You have any suggestions for? Yeah, send it over to my DM. But this is, I went out of my way to share this because I'm blown away by the fact that this was published and this was out there, and it's beautiful. This man knows.
Because I've been around a long time. Things happen.
Yeah.
So
Things happen in the market. You can be here for 3 months and crypto already teaches you that. Things happen. You already know what you need to know, guys. None of you are noobs. I would argue that a lot of you, if you have studied the boot camps and you have followed along and you got the MarketSpy, you're next to pro level. You're pretty damn close. And you didn't have to sacrifice 8 years trying to figure things out. Just respect risk. Start off right.
Let's say you get a day where it's just like the end of the world. We're down 700, 800 points. Are you just the whole time just banging trading?
Yeah, all day. It depends on the type of trader. I have guys who are.
It's the end of the world. Markets are. This guy's like, yeah, we're still long. We're still doing those.
With me on every
banging
trade.
out trades.
Some guys are like, they just wait. It depends. It really does. But I'm here to do one job. I give it a 1,000,000% every single day. So I'm not thinking. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing and letting the technology tell me and the direction that I'm able to see using my proprietary software. I'm just calling out what I'm seeing. I can't. There's so many DNAs in the world. I don't know who's trading what with me or what. Like today, we were shorting the 10-year bond all the way down. So there may be some guys who don't trade the 10-year bond, but there are guys that do. So other guys who are S&P traders or guys who are trading oil or Forex or waiting for moves like in Netflix. When I said Netflix take out the 361.5 level and then it drops, almost more than $1.50. So it's up to the trader overall to get the comfort level of what they want to trade.
So with Bitcoin, I would argue that when it's trending, it's S&P. When it's chopping, it's oil. When it's reversing, it's gold. When it's dropping, it's Forex. I found that if you trade one instrument only, such as Bitcoin, right, and focus wholeheartedly 100% on that instrument, but you divide it into different characteristics depending on how the market is looking like, you approach it from these different angles, and Sometimes you would trade forex, but you would not trade oil. And Bitcoin has a pattern that you label as oil pattern, and you don't touch it because you don't trade that. Why would you jump into trading it if you're not good with chops and ranges? Stay away from it. Log your winners and losses, and then check out those places where you lost some capital. Why was it? And if you find that on average it's because it was a choppy. Just, people say journaling is so difficult. I'll give you a quick tip. Journal it like this. Just look at it, open a page, and write. It was a chop. It was a trend. It was an impulse. It was a fade. It was at support. It was at resistance. Just note one of these things there. And then over time, a year later, you look at it and say, majority of my trades are chop or trend, downside, upside, shorts, longs. There's also software out there that kind of tracks that for you and can report it for you, which is called, what is it called? Coin Market Manager. Google it. I have an affiliate link. I'm too lazy. I don't care. Keep the $2. What I'm saying is, if that software can show you what time you're trading, how long your average trades are, and like a whole bunch of other statistics. I don't remember what exactly, but for a beginner, it's it'll open your eyes about yourself. And I think it's very important to take Bitcoin because it has so much to give and also take, that we should divide it into different labels depending on it's not just chopping Bitcoin, or it's not a trending Bitcoin, or it's not falling Bitcoin, rising Bitcoin. It's give it a label, something completely weird and different and alien, and only say I'm only trading when Bitcoin is in its oil state of being. When Bitcoin is trading like it's gold, it's got the same, and that's all I trade, because other guys wouldn't trade that. It's the same thing. You skip it. If you're a reversal trader, you're not part of it. If you're not a continuation trader, you're not part of it. If you're a scalper, you're part of each one of those on a little tiny move here and there, and that's it. All right, so cap your number of trades that you can pull off per day, things like that. Divide the chart into, characterize it, and I think it'll really help, because that's what he's saying. You got to chill and wait and let the market give you what it wants to give you, and then you decide from there. But the majority of legwork, everything is dependent on the algo. If the algorithm is not telling you that there's a setup, then there's no setup. Some of the days you don't have it. So you can be Bobby B, staring at the chart all day and not see a trade if you're smart. It's not always there. We'll bring that back and we finish off.
So there may be some guys who don't trade the 10-year bond, but there are guys that do. So other guys who
I think
are
there was
S&P
something else
traders,
here.
or guys who are trading oil or forex, or waiting for moves like in Netflix. When I said Netflix take out the 361.5 level, and then it drops, almost more than $1.50. So it's up to the trader overall to get the comfort level of what they want to trade.
So like with your algorithm, is it always, the more and more data you're gathering, the more and more time you're using it, is it getting better and better over time?
I've never tweaked it since the time.
Never tweaked it. It works. The apple of indicators.
I started running it forward, so it is what it is. And
He's running it forward. Back testing, out of the question. Performance into the forward momentum on current markets.
I believe in forward testing, so I always...
Yeah, because when you go back, you're like, oh man, that was a nice signal. Oh man, that was yeah, exactly. It's a good system. It'll always, when you look back, there's always a profitable trade, and very few that didn't play out.
Just ran it, and I never once touched it since I had it implemented on my software, so on my chart. So I believe in it. I stuck with it. I've taught many people how to use it, and this is what I use every single day, and I teach people how to use it every single day.
You would not risk millions of dollars if something didn't work. This man, he knows.
Can people go on Ticker Talker and see past performance of kind of
Yeah, under my verified, because I use this to do my verified trades.
Yeah.
When I there's a section, I'm a leader on the platform.
Okay.
So I'll be using that, my technology there to trade, and people can actually see my real life, my performance.
Okay. 45 trades, 2 o'clock.
So real live trades, as in kind of what we do daily on Discord and here on YouTube, just like that, except it's paid and you're getting it all here for free. You just have to be a little patient. I know these streams are extremely long, but if you've got the time to lose money, then you certainly must have the time to make money. And this is where it happens, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost over with this video, but not really. I just kind of...
What are you thinking? How many more trades?
I skimmed through it. I was like, this is happening. We need to, like, I need someone on my side to talk about what I talk about. And the caliber of this guy, right, makes me feel good, because I recognize that this is real. We're not talking about focusing on Lambos and a bunch of other bullshit out there, right? I'm long 50K
Trades today.
in
2
profit.
more hours. Market
Let's
close.
say 45. We'll push it to about
Look at
60,
me.
65.
60. All right.
Yeah.
Very normal.
Have you,
very
That's what's
relaxed.
been averaging with these slow days when there's no vol. I mean, look, the Nasdaq futures are down less than $1. The Dow's down 30.
is there one day that really stands out? Like, you remember, like, back when you were trading, like, one day that you really remember, like, that was historical in a sense?
Well, that Monday, was it October 19th? What was it? October 19th? Yeah,
Yeah,
October
Black
9th, Black Monday. I never forget that. Short this goal 1610. Yeah, I think that day was it.
The way he said
Friday
it,
before
never
was pretty
forget
wild,
that.
because I had to come in that Saturday morning. But you're talking volatility that, was just, back then, 500 points on the Dow. I mean, that's like earth-shattering. Now we see the Dow move 1,000 points a couple times in the last year.
This guy's
Just
a
like,
certified
okay, well, it's at
dinosaur.
26,000.
I
It
love
drops
it.
1,000. It's not so bad, right?
Yeah.
But
He's devoid of any
I've seen,
emotion
when you're in
after
the game,
years.
as long as I've been for 36 years, you get to see a lot of different things, and there's nothing that I probably haven't seen than most veterans, who've been in the game as long as I have.
I mean, seeing the market go from 1,000.
Oh, trust me, Steven, you haven't seen what's coming. The bubble that we're in right now. You haven't seen that in your 36 years. Trust me on that. Trust me, hermanos. Trust me.
To
26, almost 27,000.
27,000. I mean, now when you see a big dip, it's just like nothing.
Nah. I mean, it's like anything else. You don't get psyched out by it. It's not you're in a mindset where you're just prepared to see anything at any given time. And that's why, like, I tell people all the time,
You're in the mindset where you're prepared to see anything at any given time. The classic question that I pose here. What if a 20K 4-hour candle to the downside happens? What then?
don't overthink things, So if you're going to trade futures, if you're going to trade stocks, or if you're going to trade foreign exchange, don't overthink. Just look at learn, look at the pattern, identify, and try to be number one on the right side of the market, and then wait patiently for the patterns to set up. And that's what I do all day long. Like right now, there's nothing going on, and I'm just waiting for patterns and trends to develop or a reversal here in the market.
But Steven, only amateurs wait all day staring at the screen. Real pros use advanced market scanners to alert them when the setup is present, and you have an algorithm. What are you talking about? There's nothing going on, Steven. Jesus Christ, don't you get it?
So right now, everything is bullish right across the board here. So I'm not looking at anything really much here. Hey, let's take an aggressive long here. S&Ps go 85, go 84, go 84, 89. Use 83 and 83 stop. Hey, S&Ps, take an aggressive long here. The 3 and the 5 minute time frames are reversing here on the diamonds. and the S&P futures and the NASDAQ. But any push up, I'm buying this off the 15-minute time frames. Let's look to buy these S&Ps for maybe a 1 to 2.5 handle scalp.
All right, so the market just closed. We're going to get a little recap from Steve, kind of what went down today overall, you know, where they're at, what's going on, how many trades they ended up at. I think earlier Steve said they were looking for around 60 trades, so let's find out exactly where they ended up at. So Steve, where are we at? What's going on?
I know, guys, what was the nut number today? 58. I could have did a couple more.
You could have got 2 more in there. I think you had 2 more just kind of popping. Overall, I mean, do you feel a little bit of pressure? I mean, 36 years trading, I mean, kind of like you got to perform, you know? Like,
the only pressure I really get is when I leave here.
yeah.
And this is like my environment. I feel really contained in here, and I know what I'm doing, so it's like peace of mind here.
I think they get a little bit of pressure. The assistants back there, a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, the assistant really feels the pressure. Like I said, they're the guys who are responsible to maintain the position and you know, trade and not lose money, because it's their ass that's on the line. If they do, this guy's nothing to worry about. But he knows what's up. Taratu, thank you, and try this.
In there, a little couple moments, you know.
They know me.
They know what's going on. But yeah, really cool to see kind of what went down today, seeing the overall. I think it's interesting definitely to see how you're trading, you know, Forex, the gold, the futures, the oil. It's all in your head. It's hard to explain, but I mean, you're seeing it and it's happening, and you're not, it's like that. Like, it's not even, it's like an instinct where you're just like, you see crude oil and you're like, oh, right here, let's get in short, and then it's bam. And you're seeing that stuff where most people would have to pull up a whole chart and really take a lot of time to kind of figure that out. So that's obviously part of your
that
algorithm. And
I spent 8 years building this, and plus I do this every single day. But more importantly, the people who come into my live room get this technology, so they see exactly. They get that good as time goes on. If they're committed to it and they want to learn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, go check out this guy, sign up, and what you need to do is try out his tech, all of this, his 36 years of experience. I just, if you have the means to do so, just for fun, to see what it's like. Now, we're not talking about some YouTuber out there or some person who's I'm literally sending you away from this channel to go join his thing. See what it's like out there. And this is someone who can mentor you based on what we have just seen. It's like you can't go wrong, or can you? He says a lot of the things. He does a lot of the stuff. He's got some proprietary algorithm that was 8 years in the making. Go try it out. I guarantee you will come back. It's just no MarketSpy, based on what I know, what I have seen, and a little bit of digging, cannot be touched. If this guy was to come over to this side and say, oh, well, he's too old for that. He's not, he's not going to look into it and be like, yeah, because whatever he's found out there works for him. And it's been proven, right? Otherwise, why do it? But I'm pretty sure he would stick around and be like, oh, wow, this just took it to the next level. I thought I had something. This just took it to the next level. But yeah, there's a lot of traders out there would hide that from you and be like, hell no, I'm not promoting competitors or anything of that nature. But go try out Cypher, go try out this thing, go try out Cypher's not in the system. What am I talking about? I'm just saying anything that's popular, the trend is your friend until the end, until it's not. Let me just sum this up. It's all trash out there. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into it. Jumpity jump. Ladies and gentlemen, where is our dip? Where is the dip?
I'm sorry to inform CR, you missed your chance.
I did, didn't I? So, all right, let's stop messing around. Let's talk about what's happening here. All right, so we have. Let's bring this in. I'm gonna be looking at a naked chart. What am I? I'm not a spineless trader. So last night's stream, for those of you who are tuning in from the YouTube side of things, first of all, thank you for the likes and subscribes. Much appreciated. But we're sort of picking up from our private session yesterday and the day before that. Every day we have a stream in our Discord where we talk about the ideal scenarios, price action, entry points, and exits. And so it was established yesterday that we would have a little doji here, close the doji, right? And then potentially have one candle coming back down. Our target is at the orange line over here, where I think I will initiate a small fade based on the ATR band. I do believe that this is where we're headed, right here, right now. So my finger's on the trigger on the short side when we get there. This is going to be, as discussed yesterday, a creeper price action that creeps up the page and just kind of stays there, right? Slowly going up as we watch in disbelief, thinking, oh, wow, how come? How did this happen? Why is it happening? Why am I not part of it? And yeah, so we're kind of like witnessing that in action right now. And according to MarketSpy here, we still have more ways to go. I do think that we might come up to this daily resistance level, have that little pause that we were looking for, and then we're going to have like a little sell-off back to this level, and we're going to start chopping similar to like this price action here. Now we are above the baseline. It is bullish. We wanted to see if Bitcoin were to go and close above it with a full-bodied candle, and it gave us like a stop square here, warning shorts not to fade, not to go against the move here. And I know, looking at social media, a lot of people started fading at 43. This will continue moving up. It's just, you know, is it one of those situations where, like, when are we gonna get that entry for a fat trade, right? And you don't have to wait fully. You can always do something. You can always do something, and I recommend you participate in what you're seeing. Now, short-term trend flow just crossed over to the upside, and I think this is where we start using a little bit of caution, because this could potentially be coming to an end in the next day, maybe two, as we make our way up towards the target area and ultimately sweep the stop losses here. Now I have my alert set up here. When that happens, this, I believe, is more or less a good place to start accumulating a short if it happens rapidly. The most trickiest part here is that when price moves slowly, like this, you know that most of the time what wipes you out or clears out your position is a sharp move, unexpected move. in the opposite direction. And so anytime you want to go along here, you have to ask yourself a question, what's the next candle is going to bring? And you've got about 9 hours to go. These 9 hours, we will try to establish if there's a little bit, there's more upside to this than what's being shown on the chart. And for that, we'll go to lower time frames such as 8. And I would say yes, strength. Yes, it is dangerous. 3 hours to go. 4. Okay. 32. 45.5 is where we want to start fading this. Remember, we traded here all day, and we said we're going to come back to this, and we'll most likely stay in the same zone. And so we are staying in the same zone. However, it seems that we have bounced on the pivot here, and still looking bullish. Now, this crossover here indicates that the end of the trend is most likely going to end in the next 8 hours or so. And once we cross over, now by that time we should be trading above here, and then we should be able to come back down and have ourselves a nice little dip that we can be a part of. Now this spikes up and creates an instant divergence. I think, yeah, this. So let's do that. Let's go to 4. And we're just gonna keep it steady, keep it ready, just in case. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go on a single limit for this one instead of the accumulation mode, and I'm gonna go just under 1x for this demo. And we want this number to go up as our projected profit, and the only way to do that is when you have an ATR. When this number triples, we will go short, because that would put all these numbers at double the ATR, and that's where we exhaust. And then we'll fade it. We'll have a successful fade. So let's do it right now. Let's wait for it, and then we'll execute. The spike should happen soon. And we're just in the wait mode right now. Here's the Ranger. Three times the ATR. I would say that'd be around there. And we're hoping for it to run away from. So while shorting it here was early, looking for a trend reversal opportunity here. This is purely for a demo. I'm not even willing to go short into it. I don't want to go against the trend if I see no sign of exhaustion, but just to show you how you can better calculate what the distance should be and how to take profit on it. We're going to use these parameters here for the sake of simplicity, so that we don't have to hold for hours. And we're in on the 4-hour ATR spike, which gives us about 1 hour and 28 minutes to go, if that happens. If not, we'll most likely keep pushing longs if this fails to go higher, to support it from back below, because that's where it came from. The orders are still waiting there for a lot of traders, and so I believe they'll push prices higher. 1 hour over here. Yeah, when this thing crosses, might as well go long here, but I'll wait. Scanning for divs, trying to find if we have any divs over here. I think actually it's let's go with the 1, 2. Since it's kind of clear where we're going. So let's get in on along here quickly. This red hot pocket is, when it crosses over, should give us a nice little jump. Sorry, my tick size here. Clearing the high. Function 1 says, anybody in the trade got in on Ethereum 15-minute baseline retest. Bravo. 90% out and have a 10% runner. It's the only way. It's time to ask 8Ball. You guys, you know you can do that in the chat, right? Are we going up? As if it's not obvious. Let's check it out. Check what it says.
Haha, that is funny, 8Ball.
What's with the hesitation? But you know what? You know what? This calls for $200 ATR. Good luck. Good luck. It's a creeper, I'm telling you. It's a creeper. It's one of those. You finally give in and you're like, all right. The next candle opens and what do you have? Twizzler top. Okay, you know what? It's too far. It's too far. I'm gonna start selling into it as they start taking profit. Let's just stick to the strat. All right. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to do it live on the stream.
Me too, Sierra. I want to see you get wrecked.
Never. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to illustrate the point of timing. I mean, look at the title. Look at the title of this live stream. All right, we're gonna. That impulse is happening. I'm just waiting for this to cross over. It's price is running away. Not good. It's running away. There's this crossover also. It's a countdown. Next candle open, we should be able to have a little blip of a dip on the chart and pick it up from there. Just do it. Always market maker. Always market maker, Fabio Lopez. Poala! Okay, I got it. Thank you. Why? Because if you're going with a single limit, you want to make sure you're doing it at the bottom of the range, or when you see extreme price, that's people don't like it. They want to fade it. It's too high. It's too expensive. So right now they're pushing it back down to here again. For example, right? Single limit can get stuck up here. So I wouldn't recommend it. Now, of course, people without Bybit Pro, they kind of have no choice there. It's not even a question of what options do I have. It's more like, yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like this is the right time. And they go with a single limit. It pulls back and they're like, holy shit, what if it drops? It's a long way to go. back to the impulse from 3 days ago. It's a long way to go. So why, when we can have multiple orders that are quick in and out? All right, while this is playing out, and I promise we're going to capture here. So I haven't defined anything because I'm still watching it, still trying to get a feel for it. Because I want to take my time and bring you only the finest in technical analysis that defines us. And those who oppose us, the losers and the posers, will find them at the bottom of the pit with big losses. Kind of rhymed. But yeah. That's right, Paula. You kind of need to wear chart scan goggles because the light is so bright, and once you've seen it, there's no going back. You're trading blindly, but not like someone who just lost their sight, like a ninja who's trained for this, to trade blindly, to fight blindly. They're just like, that makes sprinkle it with a little bit of cringe here every once in a while. Don't judge me. I know you love cringe. It's better than spam. I'll take cringe over anything any day. It's better than spam. Hold on. Let the voting begin, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys leave me hanging here with 25 likes on the greatest live stream in the world. With 25 likes. It's highly questionable. Uh-oh, Clifton Lewis going Wu-Tang. All the way Wu-Tang. But he's right, you know. It's kind of like that. I saw a couple of messages in Discord where there was a little conversation. First of all, very, very sad, and I'm going to comment on that about one of the stories there posted in the Pit General. Trading experiences that it's not always green days, but I'm glad our trader is doing something about it instead of just sitting there in denial. So that's really important. And second, I have seen a follow-up comment where someone talks about the ideal settings on Bybit Pro, and people are still chasing automation. Let me say this once and for all right? There is not a single automated, profitable bot system available to retail in this space. It will and is a losing system. It will lose money in the long run. All right? It will impress you initially after a few runs because you most likely purchase it during a bull run because that's when you want to make money and you're impressed. Goose X, others. But in the long run, it's a failing system. Aging, failing system. Bots that act on signals are stupid, and you're smarter than that. You, the human trader, will beat and outperform any bot. However, having an algo to tell you when to act and deploy your mental capital, your smarts to trade is very important. That's one thing that many people lack. But in terms of like automating things, people are attempting it with Bybit Pro, with webhooks, with just punching some random numbers. The house always wins. You can't do it. You have to use a little bit of discretion, even in mechanical setups like such as these. There's no someday you will find the ideal system that makes you money where you don't have to look at the charts. You're just not going to find it. It will never happen. You got to put in the work to make it work. I'm sorry. But I wanted to comment on that because that, you know, the search should have ended a long, long time ago for most of you since you joined. But like I said, we have to, there's deeper things going on. We have to find out what they are. It's not, you know, it's not the system. Hey, look, not chasing it is kind of, it was a great idea, wasn't it? It was a great idea. The thing is, you know, I don't want to fade it, but I am looking to catch this. And I'm looking at the daily ranger here to initiate a long setup. And I'll, yeah, most likely, you know, this crossover here, I don't expect it to go lower. Remember this pattern here at all times. You know, notice it and see that when we're approaching it, and just when it's a bull cross, we usually go down, or the opposite. Raise your hands if you know why we're going up. Platoon, can somebody please in the chat satisfy my curiosity here and tell me why are we going up? For the the single reason that we're going up here. All right, I'll show it to you. No, Alex, maybe. Everyone has theories, but we talked about this. Go back to the last stream and the stream before that. The recent spill retrace. No. And the chat in Discord. Come on, guys. What was the signal? On the assessment of probabilities with a call that I said, remember, when this happens, you're looking at it. We are going to go up. It'll be a magnet. The opposite will happen. You will see articles about it. But no. It's this. It's the 50 and the 200 crossing. Taratu. And I said, quote unquote, we're going to talk about this and we're going to brag about this and we're going to say, looking back, you would wish you had acted on it, because that's, price will continue to move up closer to this area on multiple bear calls from the industry continuously. It's the crossover of the 200 and the 50 moving average that causes this, because there's a whole explanation that was left for you to study in the review. Because the crossover, again, I'm going to show the exact same thing I showed in that live stream. It was here on YouTube. and there was another session inside of our Discord 2 days in a row. We said price crossed over here. This signal is occurring here now 200 periods later. And because of this lag, you're going to see a reaction here where price is going to reach these levels before a potential pullback on a high probability note. And we, ever since the crossover here, exactly when it crossed over, we pulled back 1, 2, 3. It's 4 days of continuous uptrend as described in those videos. So that was the reason. Now, here comes the second part. As we start to approach it, we are moving towards the 50. That's where we get our first rejection. So if we're thinking in terms of like, where do I short this? Not for a small move, like I mean like short and wait 2-3 candles that are red on the daily. That has to happen at this green block over here, simply. As we move past the BC, if we do it, R1 is your number one target that you aim to fade here all the way up to. So I'm going to be, there's an alert right here. This is a full on short signal. This alert was a full on long signal between here and here, these two. And we never came closer. Remember I complained about it. We were off by $9. And we said this was going to get run when other groups were saying more upside. Said this was going to get run. And when it does, this is where we go long. However, doesn't mean there weren't any trades along the way, but too bad. And it happens sometimes. All right. And so the next trade opportunity for us is at R1. And this level is where we're 1xing this and just holding on to it. This is the hodl trade for day traders, the day trading hodl level. But yeah, this is absolutely magical. And even if you're not trading this, you should be taking notes and saying like, God damn it. CR throwing words like quantum mechanics, this and that, this will happen with utmost certainty. And then it does. And so we have to ask ourselves why. It's a lagging indicator on a daily time frame, which by itself is a lagging indicator. Price action is lagging on the daily. I know. Price action doesn't lie. It's real time. Price action is made up of people's reactions. People are always late to the party. Much like those who are stuck out there with inferior garbage that they're trading with and are not yet part of our community market. They'll join us when they lose 90% of their capital, and in desperation they'll come to seek the light. And we're not going to judge them for it. I know. It's like one of those stories of like church and sexual assaults. Victims never talk about it. It's the cult of Crypto Face, Carl the Moon, and others that keep them hush hush. We actually embrace every time people lose, we make a case out of it. Not only can you study it, it can also clear your head, and maybe things happen for a reason and they could prevent you from repeating the same mistakes. But you're not going to hear that coming from elsewhere, because you get destroyed and then it's over, and it's like you don't even talk about it. It's like, and they use that, those cult leaders and manipulators, they use that to control the sheep. And it's kind of hard to ignore those guys when they're throwing like $1 million positions in your face. You're like, oh wow. So yeah, you're gonna pay the price and you will learn. And eventually you'll realize that you don't have to analyze. We'll be here waiting for you. Oh, look at this Pampola candle over here. It looks great. I really don't like this. See, right now, this is where you know what? Let me FOMO in. All right, don't just. Why am I doing this? Look, when this crosses over to the upside, we will go further up. And since I'm trying to fade it over here, I have my target set. You see this crossover? Same thing is going to happen here as what happened on the daily. But eventually, this is a bullish crossover, and it should be able to push the price higher. I don't like how we're seeing volume at the top, and this could be a failed breakout trade. Am I going to close it and put a stop loss here? No. I think this is a dip area, and I'm going to buy into it because overall, the baseline retest calls for higher prices still on the daily, even if we have a deeper pullback. $31 likes and counting. Last time we hit 64. I don't know if it's, I'm thankful for that one last time, but I'm wondering, can we do it again? That would be amazing. Here we go. Buying the dip. Buying the dip. But so back to the daily EMA crossover. Now, for some people, it's like, okay, all right, yeah, you talked about it. It happened. Wow. But not everyone is going to be looking at that. And so you have traders like Imran Mirza there. Hello, by the way, and welcome to the live stream. They're looking at the daily GPS. That's their reason that it goes up. A selective, excellent choice, Imran. Excellent choice. Tarato says daily delta crossing up. Sometimes, if you're with your intuition and you're good, you're very familiar, in tune with the system, you can sort of, kind of feel that is where the curve is going to happen, and on the next candle, depending. So if you have two bullish candles preceding that, right, in a recovery, and you're thinking, okay, when that delta crossover happens at the zero line, like, why would it not? And those two candles are probably going to give birth to a third bullish candle, and that could be your place to go long. So yeah, it's, you're looking at those things and you're asking yourself that question. Is it? That's what we're looking at. The crossover is one of them. But if you didn't know that, if that's not a thing that you pay attention to, certainly you were aware of the GPS, and so that should be your part of your trading plan. Not because, like, yeah, it happens for you. And the delta crossing up is also another one, and you can implement that and say, yeah, that's all I'm looking at, right? That little thing happening there, that's all I care for. And so, yeah, in that case, it's really profitable and it's great and everything. And you're looking to trade that exclusively. Over. This party is over. We're at 0.26. At the top of the range with a crossover happening and prices dumping towards it. We'll start buying in lower. All right, so pay attention, right? Candle open. Not looking forward to this. This is what you do. If the market allows, get out, because it's a bad start right away. right away. The market may not allow it because they know. They see everything. And price opened immediately bearish, right? Like volatility here, sigmas. I don't want to be a part of that. Do you want to hold it to your 15, 12, 30-minute ATRs? I don't know. Would I? Not really. So if you're picking it up and the next candle opens and it starts going, oh yeah, you have a really great potential, a candle with a potential there. But if not, yeah, maybe this wrecking ball is about to cross over. And we all know what happens then. And maybe this pattern was bearish for a while and it took out this top over here. Reason with it. It's a machine, but it speaks your language because of who the market participants are. All right. I'm out. Just like that. Screw this. I'm out. I close this trade. I don't want to wait for a recovery bounce here. I'm going to step away from this. I'm going to size up a little heavier when we go lower. So obviously 200, and this is what you should be doing, right? This is how you make your decisions based on what is happening. So yeah, I don't like these guys over here at all. So I'm going to assume that this drops down to the orange line. I'm going to go with a single order now. Maybe, hold on. It's about 700 points. Watch this. This is your probable 2-hour ATR. You're thinking, yeah, if it happens, if the spill happens here, I am in it 100%. And because of the spill, if it's a full, just one swift candle down, it'll have a reaction. You'll have like a lot of these hungry traders who are looking for this to dip all day long are going to get early, but the bounce will be small, but it'll be enough for you to make some money. And then as it continues to fall further down, more serious buyers are going to step in. It's going to start ranging, and then we're going to have like another one of these. Right? It's like, yeah. So you're looking forward to that. But your job is to capture volatility here, which this looks like it's doable. And if it goes up, I'm most definitely fading it. Now, it's been green for a little while. All things must come to an end. We're waiting for a retest on the daily, and this could be it. So let's see what happens here while I go out there and make my tea. Please don't get me wrecked while I'm gone. That'll be a first ever. I'm just joking. We'll deal with it. Okay, take it easy. We're still okay. We're doing okay. Nothing happened yet.
But CR, what if that you're over leveraged at 2x essentially? What if you go underwater? Listen, water is where I belong. It's my natural habitat. See, the difference between a losing trader and a winning trader over a long period of time is that you learn how to swim. That's what makes others are just like they burn. You're in the water, you're swimming. Position size is irrelevant if you know where to swim. Sometimes the water is not that obvious. Plus, you don't know the depth of it. Sometimes it's deeper than necessary. For me, I'm kind of used to it. Love swimming. So hopefully in the stream we'll go for a swim. If it drops really, really, really hard, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. We'll rescue a 2x position. Make it a live exhibition. No edits, no Photoshop. I'll take the responsibility. And add. Let's calculate. We're looking at 0.7 to my account on this trade.
Dude. Okay.
We're going to add 0.7 to my account. On a high probability sweep of the lows.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Where's the PNL? You love to see it, don't you? You think Batman never got caught? So, a little recap, real quick. While I was away, it's very unfortunate that we are looking at this right now. But the thing is, what are we gonna do now? How do we get it back? We don't. So these kind of drops, look at that. That's in excess of 1 day's worth of ATR. And sometimes you have to take the loss. Now this is rare because admittedly this candle is in and of itself is very rare. You don't, it's been a while since you saw a candle this big. But I am going to put the blame on Bybit Pro. Yes, I am. Why? API, well, actually Bybit, API rate limits. The position was in profit. I stepped away from it. It was in profit. And the rate limit started to go off because the number of contracts that got picked up on a small, tiny ladder. And while placing four of these was enough to trigger the API rate limit. And while it was in profit, it would not let me exit no matter what, because clicking on limit, this was the position size, clicking on anything here would not respond, and that is due to API rate limit hit. So I'm just going to chalk it to the fact that this was a technical mishap, as the ATR was exceeded. It was way too fast. It went a little overboard. Now consider how many ATR bars in here, way over the top, right? And so there was no way it was going to come back on the immediate bounce and give us a profitable exit, even though it hung around with $70+ away from entry in profit. Would have been nice, but it never gave me the chance. So do we hold on to it average in with a candle like this? No. This is a diamond candle that shows us a potential drop even further, but it is in excess of all of the ATR values. So maybe there's a place where we can get this thing out of its miserable state right now, which is closer to like this level here on the daily. Sorry, if that happens, that's quite a steep profit taking candle here. So point is, swift, no double thinking, exit, good to go. We're going to try to reaccumulate because these candles are always a buy opportunity. And we're looking at a 25% close here, which is great in EQ1. I'm going to assume that this goes down to here. So I will get a ladder set up for approximately, technically this would be it for the day, right? But I just wanted to show you, like, imagine this is the second day in a row we're looking at this. I'm going to place a single limit into a buy zone right here, and another one roughly over here. And this is what I'm going to wait for. I mean, it's
I thought you were invincible, cowboy. What happened?
I thought so too. My buttocks. No one's invincible. And so, yeah, so there's a lot of take profit lightning bolts, and it was a matter of time, only a matter of time. Let's see if she can actually go below the 200 here, because I might push it. I think so. It's looking highly probable at this point. So I'm just gonna wait for it. Wait for it, and commence the recovery, which will probably take, given the circumstance of the loss, 4 days on this account. Luckily, it was the only thing here that has an open position.
Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Don't you have anything to say?
Relax, Crypto Demon. Any survivors in the chat? What? The drop was, according to the ruler here, 1,400 points. So I risked $1 for $1 on this trade and lost exactly the size of this candle, which is okay. Can you give a few candles back to the market every once in a while? Yes. Will it affect your bottom line in the long term? No. The show must go on, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my question here is, are we going to have that daily retest? Are we looking at the daily? Oh, it's not even. So we were expecting a doji and then the next candle open, maybe. Profit taking commenced. Good job, Fabio Lopez. Good job. Yeah, I don't like this momentum setup over here. Expecting a bounce back. Maybe one or two candles. Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm gonna wait for it to come back up. And I'm gonna go with the directional. I don't know if it's a profit taking event or whatever, but I'm seeing a potential shorty here, which obviously comes from this whole range being in the red, right? Although this seemed like it was going to go up. Who's in control? We're not in control. The market is in control. And we're now below all of these baselines. It's a close. It's a continuation trade, so we go lower for sure. I want to get in on a short when it bounces back. Let's see if it happens within the foreseeable future here on the stream. Tracer, welcome. Gather around. Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing the first red day live. And how there was no hesitation to cut it loose. Volatility or not, that insane shit has no place for me. No place in my casa. I'm out. And I'm waiting for an opportunity for this to, it's going to be slow. It's going to be slow. These things are predictable on lower time frames. But obviously, if I'm trading the 4 hour or the daily, then that's where I'm wrong. Because that was the chart that I decided to go put that trade in. However, let me just make this clear, right? Bybit Pro fudged up. API rate limits hit too hard, and it was in profit. $28. What was the exit? Exit price 43,263. But anyways, on this little bounce here, it was in profit and it could have closed it, but it wouldn't let me get on a click, and so I got kind of stuck spamming this sell, and it didn't do that. It didn't do that for me. But okay. I would say, like, this candle specifically, right, is out of the ordinary. Usually, we were, can't say we were not expecting it, but it certainly was a power move down here, right? It looks like it was a single entity that just decided to wait here and pressed against it. And so it's definitely a profit taking or a reversal trade setup where if the bounce does occur, I will be looking to go back down to that daily baseline before considering a long position again for tomorrow. this is where we reversed and we're now below purple, and so that's a clear indication for me that this is going to continue lower. Paula, we should start calling it our own name, which is the API hit. And yeah, it sucks when it happens, but hey, it's a worthy cause for what you get overall, because API trading is still more profitable than manually punching in little digits and clicking on market buttons and worrying about fees and all that stuff. But yeah, so the takeaway for me and everyone here should be that when something like this does happen every once in a while, obviously no stops here are safe, and we had to get out because it's a mental stop loss right here. So if it's going lower than this range, then essentially what you're looking at is a flag breakdown, and you're not looking to hold that. So this is the low, and if it goes lower than that, it's, you know, market carried you out, so be it. Mentally you're placing a stop loss. However, on a spill like this, it's always a good buy, but I am looking for a better level to get in on, which will be, yeah, so this is what I was looking at earlier, and thought that there might be a bounce here, which there was. API screwed me over. Hold it. If you give me a choice, hold it or get out, I would get out. So if you have ever found yourself in these situations where you're questioning, should I or should I not pay the tax, get out, I would not advise holding. But yeah, most likely outcome here is this, and then maybe like a broader pattern of sorts, I think. So maybe a little lower, and we may have ourselves a little bounce back. I'm just gonna wait and see if it materializes. Don't worry, Function 1. This was not about me. It was about other over-leveraged $1 million position degens out there, most likely. And besides, Manny is like 20 people affiliated. Maybe slightly more than that. Oh, bad boy. She's looking to go lower and lower and lower. But where to? I would say like it's going back down to the open to the red box, which is, you know, should be easy. Function 1 for sure. No, I get it. I get it. Absolutely. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Mr. Crypto says, what longer term levels are you suspecting to give us support? Longer term? It's only two levels, 35 and 30. If what we bounce off of here doesn't hold a second time, then yeah, that's a longer term for me. Until then, it's still, yeah, we're still So I'm just gonna comment in terms of how I am assessing this, and I'm looking at the orb crossing over, but I'm also thinking S1 open is where we're pausing, where we're taking a little breather. It's about another 700 points. Very aggressive. Very aggressive. Do we ever see candles like that don't react back in the opposite direction? Yeah, like these guys over here, right? But that's an established downtrend. So I'm not really sure. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty serious occurrence right now. You have to agree that this is something that you cannot foresee. This shit is crazy right now, right? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, yeah, what gives? I mean, profit taking, yeah, but stop freaking out. God damn it. Seriously? You're going to give me 2,000 points? That's a whole daily ATR value candle. It's a little extreme, you have to agree. It's a little extreme. Not a daily situation. So warnings here about, how these are not going up. We have sigmas. Yeah, by the way, there was a question like, what is sigma all about? Freaking this. All right, it tells you to stay the funk out of it, and what you're seeing is not real, basically. Like these candles going down, the sigmas are like screaming, "Warning! Warning! 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 We're not going down." Here at the top, going up, 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 and it's like warning. Nope, 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 nope. Again, one more time, warning. Nope, nope. And then that kind of is this materialized, right? So it's very interesting that there are now. Again, I don't look at different time frames to try to figure out like what the trade is. So if it's that one time frame that I'm looking at, then that's what I'm trading. If it's a 2-hour time frame with a 2-hour ATR range, then that's what I'm trading. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. If it does, then good, it's profitable trade. If not, just don't give it back to the market. This is within my tolerance level. Actually, a little exceeding. 1% is allowed over that. But like I said, I'm going to pin it on API because it was a good trade. You don't see it. It was a good trade when we first reacted here at this level. So it bounced back quite nicely. And it was like a 300 range or something. Yeah, almost. Pushed lower, and yeah, the API was non-responsive, and it was if I have my Bybit terminal open, which I don't ever go or visit, then yeah, you have an opportunity to kind of just click market and get out maybe. But in terms of using a limit exit, no chance whatsoever. No chance. No chance there. It's also part of your risk profile. You should like consider these things and say, okay, what if technology fails that I'm trading with? And that goes not only for Bybit Pro, it goes for Bybit itself, because the Bybit is the culprit here with rate limits. And I told you how I feel about all of these exchanges and influencers and everything, and it's basically boils down to them working in cahoots, promoting garbage. And the reason it's garbage is because the setups and their APIs are designed so that they limit you as a retail trader, as a normal anybody who can sign up. They give priority to people who can make the markets aggressively with big size, and everyone else can just F off and do whatever they want to do, because we don't matter. Nobody matters. Also, look at the massive divergence on MSX. You guys give me these little clues, and where is that? Is that 5 minutes, 1 hour? Like, what are we? Oh, price divergence. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, but if it's going up like this, it's not really, you don't, it's confirmed now. It's confirmed now, right? It's not really, this sometimes does and have recovered in the past where we traded higher. The daily range indicates that we had the volatility and the potential to go up here. This is not normal. Something had occurred here that caused this. It's a single whale exit merely, or it's an exit that is causing everyone else to exit on the first initial move. But I don't think so. People are slow to react. I think maybe excessive leverage shakeout or something like that. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it, Mr. Crypto. But if you learn how to trade divergences, we look to confirm it. And I suppose an algorithm or a very sophisticated system would calculate this mathematically ahead of time and assess the volume here and see how there's barely any volume and maybe but so right now it's confirmed, but you're not really seeing that at a time because you have a candle close and immediately, I mean, it's literally the candle open and there's no time to plan this, right? This could have opened and went higher, or small candle first, another one smaller here, another one smaller here, went down to support, maybe bounced a little bit, and then drop down, right? And you would be like, okay, yeah, I can see that. But this was pretty extreme. So we're looking at something that doesn't really happen often. Today is a unique situation for the market looking at this. I don't know what the driver is out there for this, but yeah, it's a good case study. Look, the volatility is here. Fear is pretty extreme, right? And the profit taking is dominoing down right now. So on a momentum like such as this here, it is entirely possible that maybe this channel, there's a small time frame, 1 hour, so I don't know if this is enough information here, but we're still looking for the daily open, and that daily open is going to open how? So this is probably going to go up and then continue down. And again, it's the crossover here that is most likely causing all of this, again, much like it was on the daily. So yeah, this is not a normal price jump reaction. So even during here, we had some sort of like, early signals to tell us that there's a potential uptrend here. This was also not normal. It kind of was because the candle here was too big, right? But then you had this one, and it was like, 1,500 points. I wasn't around to trade this, but this must have been scary too, especially how it developed soon after. So you had open, close, and like these mega candles that are following. And this one, it's an anomaly, I would label it. But I am this stream kind of so two things, right? Time to assess, time to demo, time to go to bed, API rate limits, and all of that, right? It's just a little bit of a lacking experience, I would say, for me personally. Usually I'm a bit more focused and relaxed, and but yeah, absolutely, taking losses or taking profits. I think so. The theory here is that if you take profits on time, then you take losses on time too. And if you're adding to your losers, then we should be adding to our winners, and vice versa. If we don't, then we don't. For me, quick exits, quick drops. So technically, normally, a small red candle like this would prompt me to get rid of my position. This is something that you cannot control, especially if you have technology issues where API is getting limited and you're like fucking trying to manage it in the middle, and it's like rate limit reached, and you're like, God damn it, right? So yeah, these are the things that can and will happen in the market, and you have zero control. There's not even a setup. There's no time to react. There's nothing. There's just like, it is what it is. Yeah. So you just, charge it to the game, right? It happens. Yeah, we're below CPR. If this climbs back up, sure, but we're below CPR, and we should expect more downside for sure. May be a little choppier than usual. This scandal just tells us that it will be choppier than usual. So. Trading crypto. This is not. This is MS Edu. This is a normal account. It's not linked to anything. And trading crypto. I don't know what you go by on Discord. Would be nice to know, because I don't know who I'm talking to, what information I'm sharing here and with whom. But that's a whole nother thing. It's not there yet. Everyone has those rate limits as of now. We're not there yet. $81 to $18. Nobody likes spam. Spam the sell button.
decided that this is a cup and handle pattern. It's a double bottom cup and handle pattern. This is just a correction. We're going up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah. There we go. Target remains. I mean, we should be used to it by now. Nah, I don't believe in all that. So here's the thing, right? You saw what you saw. I am going to bid at the open, okay, overnight, and I'm gonna sleep on it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to open another one at S2, and I'll see what happens tomorrow. Now, according to what we want to see, we're maybe seeing it now. And the retest, worst case scenario here. Let me just get rid of all this crap right here. So, what do I see? I see resistance, I see a pivot, and I see support. Classic. So, pivot gets taken out. I'm in at 61 daily fib. I mean, it's a daily fib, so I have to assume that by the end of the day, we should be there, if the market allows for it. So I'll get in at this level once, and then I'll aim to go lower twice, and that should be our retest. And for the days to come, chop, and off we go. So we're still on track, and it looks good. I'll leave you here with this information. But we'll come back to this tomorrow. Do I trade without stop losses? Yes, you don't see them. Do I have physical stop losses? No. Do I have mental stop losses? And if I see an algo signal, I'm out. Absolutely. Window closed, and yeah, I'm going down. I'm going down with the trend. It's likely that we chop here for a little bit. This kind of BS, and tomorrow nothing changes by tomorrow. I have a feeling. And I also have a feeling I'm not getting a fill. Maybe I am. If that's the case, yeah, we're definitely chopping here tomorrow. And I suspect that this is going to take about 3 to 4 days to work it back up to this, because it has to be 100% now. Right over that, and entries got to have to be sitting lower at this stage. There's no choice. Welcome to trading. Enjoy it. Don't go scratching your heads. Learn from everything that happens. Make it work for you, and stop looking for strategies that are bulletproof, systems that are fully automated so that you can make money while you sleep, and holding positions without closing them when clearly you were wrong. Accept it, move on, make more money. Happy trades, and until tomorrow. Stream is coming to an end. 38 likes. We're going back down to 38K. It's the curse of the like button. It's how it works. Want to stay at this level? Bring it up to 43 likes. But if not, buy the dip. when we go lower tomorrow, if we go lower tomorrow. Anyways, it's been a fun session, and I think this is the first time when when we kind of participated in a move like this together, and there's no magic formula to a shortcut to a successful, whenever you want, kind of I can get this straight in. And actually today, so let me just turn this shit off. Let me just say a few things in closing, all right? And you do what you want with it. So number one, I had a trade today that gave me 0.2. My trading plan says whatever the market gives you, you're happy with it, you step away. My second rule in the trading plan says that you only pull off one trade a day. My third trading plan says the third entry in the trading plan is that you do this. So I want you to understand that this was a demo. This is what I sacrifice to run these streams, all right? So if you're not hitting those likes, I don't know what else to tell you. This stream in particular cost me 1.22 of this account, right? It's no biggie. I'll work on it. I'll bring it back, and I'll share my plan tomorrow. Right now, I'm not going to do anything, but do know that I have violated 3 rules of my own trading plan to have this session, just to show you where a potential buy would be. Are you always right? No. Is it okay to be wrong? Absolutely. Is the market king and you're just following what it tells you? Yes. Did it tell us to GTFO out of here and just close the trade? Because obviously, look at this shit, right? Is a unique and a rarely occurring event during a normal trading session like this? Yes. Can we learn from this? Absolutely. Was it a bad trade? No. In terms of learning, it wasn't. Was it a bad trade in terms of like, yes, absolutely. It violated all of the rules that I have for myself, and focusing on one particular area to show, probabilities. Where would you get in if you had to? If you absolutely had to, you're looking at the chart. This is what happens. Closing a trade is the biggest thing here, and violating rules. This is what I think. This is the final chapter in our trading plan conversation. I think we talked about it enough. We already shared a few examples of and how you can build one, why you should have one. And excuse my French at the end of this stream, but you get fucked if you disrespect your own trading plan. Today, this was an absolute punishing move. The markets have a way of doing this to you. So when you guys work towards that 1%, understand that is the maximum that you can aim for within your trading session, and that should be enough. If you achieve less than that, you don't overtrade and follow up with a second. That guy that we watched earlier, Steven, he's talking about 100 trades. He's inside of a boiler room, right, with like 10, 15 traders in there. He's got 20 charts open. So, and they have many eyes and many hands doing that all the same. It's not like he's saying, I am trading 100 times a day. And they're mostly scalping, power scalping, right? So within those 100 trades, there are a lot of losers as well. There are stops that are getting added constantly. So keep that in mind, and understand there is no awkwardness. There is no like, oh, wow. There is no haha. There is no, don't be silly about this. All right. If you're getting any ideas, realize that this is a business, and sometimes you have unforeseen events that occur and they disrupt the way you conduct your business. And so let's just say this was a little storm that caused us to close shop, and we're not open for business today. We walk away, we'll come back tomorrow and work on rebuilding. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So With that, have a good night, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow in our Discord or maybe here on YouTube. Adios. Purge that merch. Actually, it's just a mug. There isn't any merch.